Hi, this is Courtney Coukoulis. I'm sitting here with CEO and founder of PayReady, Lynn Musil. Lynn, thanks so much for sitting with me here today.
Sure. Thank you, Courtney.
So, Lynn, why don't you tell us a little bit more about your history and why you started PayReady?
Yeah. So I've been in the multifamily housing industry for almost 25 years. I've worked with a few different companies to help build solutions for the multifamily housing space. And I've always had an inkling that I wanted to start my own company. I love to solve problems. I love to engage with clients and build things together. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I guess it's been 6 years ago now, I started talking to my clients and asking them what part of the resident life cycle had not been sufficiently addressed with technology. And the feedback I got was that there was a lot of attention paid to resident acquisition, resident move-in, tools to help facilitate working with current residents, but there really seemed to be a vacuum when it came to technology that helped with post-resident communication, engagement, and management. And so the first iteration of the solution was to build a basic CRM system for the accounting team to live in. And that was really the start. And that was, like I said, 5 or 6 years ago. And then since then, we've really just engaged deeply with our clients to see how we expand the product offering and the solution and make sure that we're engaging with the residents in a thoughtful way and taking all of our client feedback. And it's just led to massive opportunities for us to grow and expand and solve problems along with our clients. It's been a really fun journey.
So, Lynn, why do you think PayReady has had such explosive growth over the last few years?
I think it really boils down to the close collaboration we had with our clients. We worked together to identify what was really an uncomfortable, messy part of the resident communication lifecycle. And we were willing to invest a lot in solving that, which was a real leap of faith. And once we were able to prove that it actually accomplished what we set out to do, word got out really quickly, and it's led to really explosive growth just because we were solving a massive problem that hadn't been addressed before.
Wow, that's amazing. So what is it that your users find with PayReady that they can't find anywhere else?
Well, it's a great question. I'd break that down into 2 different user groups. One user would be the owners and operators of multifamily housing assets. They're going to experience visibility and transparency and controls over a system that they've never had access to before. It's going to produce better results for them because they can move the dials and create efficiencies using the system. Much higher level of compliance because now there's controls and visibility over everything. And then the second type of user that we focus on pretty heavily is the resident themselves. And so the experience that they're going to have that's totally unique is by engaging in our solution post move out, that's going to feel really like more of an extension of the relationship with the community instead of what typically happens where they feel a little bit abandoned the second they move out and there's a vacuum in the way that they engage with the community.
So what's your vision for the future of PayReady?
Well, in the near term, we're hyper-focused on making sure that we build the best accounts receivable post-resident engagement system possible. So we're very focused on doing exactly what we're doing today really well. There's absolutely opportunity for us to potentially expand into other areas of the financial operating system related to the resident engagement. It's really going to come down to collaborating very closely with our clients to determine where the best fits are for us and where the problems are for us to solve. I think that'll all unfold naturally. We're really fortunate to have a really great team that's really client-centric, as well as collaborative clients that work together with us to build solutions. So whether it's replacing outdated solutions or creating new solutions, we're going to keep our eyes open for those opportunities for sure. But we're going to also be very thoughtful about it and make sure that we don't overextend ourselves and we can execute really well.
So since PayReady has the largest database of former resident accounts receivables in the nation, how has COVID impacted this?
Well, I think it's yet to be determined on what the outcome of all of this is going to be. It's still playing out live. But as we know, with COVID, there are a lot of different state regulations, county level regulations in terms of how residents could be pursued for outstanding balances. So we were able to help our clients react much more quickly in real time to all the legislative changes that were happening and compliance and risk changes that were happening. So for example, within the system, we were able to enforce compliance rules about account movement and how residents are being treated and communicated with, completely systematized and on the fly. Prior to PayReady, there would have been no way to react to all of that and control that process in a way that felt resident friendly and also legally compliant. So, it gave us massive lift in terms of client adoption because they saw that it was really the only tool that afforded them the ability to control all those things. In terms of how this is going to play out from a financial standpoint, I think it's really yet to be determined.
Well, that's interesting. So for the owners and operators that are not using PayReady, especially during these unprecedented times, is there a greater risk for them?
Yeah, I think there are two categories of risk. There's the risk of downside compliance issues and things like that, and not having a platform that helps facilitate the handling of accounts properly and make sure that controls are in place, communications are in place that are completely compliant. The other risk is opportunity risk, which what I mean by that is when things are able to move through the system appropriately and to have a partner that's monitoring that on your behalf to go ahead and conduct business as usual where you can as quickly as you can, there's a big opportunity risk as well to have a lag in performance and delays in execution.
So Lynn, thank you so much for joining me today. Was there anything else you wanted to share?
Oh, thank you, Courtney. I think the only thing I'd like to leave it with is just a big thank you to all of our clients and users that have collaborated so closely with us and taken this journey over the last few years. I'm just really excited to continue the adventure together.